Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to the Mary and Sam Show. We're delighted that you're here with us. And I was thinking about something today with Mary. We were thinking about why do we care so much what others think about us? Really, I mean, seriously, who cares? But in all seriousness, even I find myself at times thinking about what others are thinking about me. So I was kind of trying to figure out what does that mean for me, right? When I think about what others are thinking about me, are they? Why is that? Why should I even care?
Right, and you're not the kind of person who cares normally what others think.
Right.
Because I learned a lot of great lessons from you. You always telling me, "Hey, don't worry about what people think. Just do your own thing." But yet, still, you find yourself in situations that you are considering what others are thinking.
Yeah.
Or pretty much how they're judging us. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and I think some of this comes probably just from being, although we talk a lot about this where we've evolved.
Yes.
However, our innate nature is to be like cavemen. And I think that reminded me of a good joke. Do you know why they call it clubbing when you go out?
Clubbing? No.
No. The reason that they call it clubbing is back in the old times when we were all in caves, you used to go club a girl in the head and then you take her home with you. That's why it's called clubbing. But anyway, so in that context of being cavemen, we used to live in packs, sort of like some other animals, like wolves and stuff. You survived if you were in a group, and when you got rejected or you were shunned out of the group, then your life is really thrown off. I mean, and your survival mechanism depended on you being part of the group. So I think a lot of times now when we get rejected, we're going back into that mode. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. I think this is especially, we grew up in Afghanistan. Well, mostly I did. Part of your childhood was in Afghanistan. But anyways, that, especially from that culture, I feel like we still live back in the caveman because such a tribal culture. Because if you do anything, you have to get your parents' approval, your in-laws, your grandparents, the whole community gets involved.
Sure.
Who you should be, how you should talk, how you should dress, who you should marry, what kind of job you should have. I think there's constantly people are controlling you.
Do you think that just in Afghani culture? I think it kind of resonates in all cultures. It's not just ours, but I guess I can see your point because, I mean, we tend to be more clingy as a group. We tend to hang out together a lot longer. For instance, until I was 25, I lived at home. I didn't move out. I mean, and that's a normal thing, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So if I didn't get married, I'd probably be there until I was 40.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think what I'm saying is in the Afghani culture is much more to the highest degree because we're still a tribal culture.
Yeah.
Still, we tend to, yes, this exists with all human beings, with all human race, because it goes back, like you said, to the primal instinct back in the cavemans that if we were just doing things by ourselves, we would have been eaten by wolves and lions. Mm-hmm. So we had to be part of the pack because it's a survival instinct mechanism.
Right.
But in our culture, it's much more to a degree. I mean, compare this. Like, we are very family oriented. Everything we do, someone always has an opinion.
Sure.
Right. And so the opinion of others, it's always, this is the interesting part. Their opinion is not always to serve you right. It's always judgmental.
Yes, you're right. And sometimes that reminds me of when you need relationship advice. If you're thinking, should I stay with this woman or man? And you go to your friends and you're asking them for their opinion, right? And they may just give you the wrong opinion because they don't know your relationship, nor do they know what's right. And oftentimes we tend to give this power of whose opinions we value to others. And it could be absolutely the wrong person to go to. Believe me, I've been there myself. And there could be in any area of your life, right? It'd be relationships, work. Your coworkers are judging you, you're judging them. So there's a lot of this kind of thing going on. However, the more you can, I think, shun the light on it, the less power that they're going to have over you. And just understand that, okay, I learned something good from Ray Dalio. He's one of the greatest asset managers in the world. And he said, you have to always triangulate. And that means get 2-3 different opinions and put together and think for yourself,
Yep.
is this in my best interest? Should I be making this? Because you just don't want to go to the first person and whatever they say.
Yes.
Take that to heart.
And I think I never want to assume, because that's a wrong place to be. But one assumption you can always make when you are asking for someone's opinion on specific decisions that you have to make, that individual is going to have their insecurities, their fears, their fear of failing in the past, their past experiences. So they're giving you their advice based on their own experiences, fears and failures and insecurities.
That's
so
right.
most of the time, it's not going to be the best advice for you unless you trust that person and that person is very fair.
Yeah.
Which, in most cases, I come to you because I trust your opinion so much, because
You should. I'm your consigliere.
because I trust your opinion, because you're such a fair person and you've always helped me make the right decision for myself. Even though I remember this was years back. You know, I was married to somebody else for a short amount of time and I was going through some tough times. And imagine, you know, being from the Afghani culture, like you're thinking about, I should leave this person. Oh my God. Like you're thinking, well, I'm a horrible person. Divorce is a bad thing. And then who should I listen to? But yet you have this inner conflict that you're not in the right place with this person.
Yeah.
I remember, you're my second cousin. So when I came to America, you start to drive me around places and, you know, help out. So I remember asking you something about this. And you said, listen, you should always do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
You should never let someone abuse you or put yourself in that situation. And that came just from your good heart. And that kind of made an impression on me. So your opinion, when you're giving your opinion, you're always thinking for that person's best interest. Now, I don't know how many other people are out there that are going to do the same thing, because people always talk about from their own experiences.
Yeah, we tend to put our own judgments on our own past experiences, our own flavor of whatever you grew up with. You're going to interject that, and it's hard to be fair because we're all biased.
Yes.
Just naturally, right? And so that's why I think it's not always easy to find a fair and balanced view of life from anybody. So be picky about who you're going to let. If you're going to let other people's judgments control your life, at least make sure you get a good person that's guiding you, so that you're not just following blindly.
Or nowadays, you know, there are coaches, counselors, and people advisors that
Sure.
you could reach out, and they always will look for your best interest. I remember a coaching client I was coaching, and she was in a really bad relationship. She had been in that relationship for 25, I think 30 years.
Wow.
And so she was, but the relationship was they were just roommates. There were no relationship. They would just go in and out. The husband was very busy. He was a big shot lawyer, and then she was super busy with her real estate career. And then she knew that she had to do something, because either you have to repair that relationship or leave the relationship.
Yeah.
And she said it's beyond repair. She doesn't want to be with that person and she wants to leave. But she was kind of one step forward, one step backward in terms of making that decision. And she would say, I don't know what would my dad think. And I don't know what would my mom say. Oh my God, I don't know what our friends would think about this. So she was thinking about what others, how they would judge her. Because that's what it is, that we don't want to be judged. And because of that, we always make the wrong decision. So she was stuck in a relationship that was going nowhere. Deep down, she wasn't happy. And I think they're both individually leading their own lives separately. But and the most important thing was she didn't want her kids, they're all grown-up kids. She's like, I don't want my kids to know that we don't have a good relationship. I said, so do you think your kids know you have a good relationship? You don't think they pick up on
the vibes?
On the vibes? And she's like, yes, maybe they do. But so people stay in a wrong relationship for such a long time because the fear that they don't want to get judged by others, that they've made the wrong decision.
Right. That they might be pushed out of the pack.
Exactly.
And that's what's keeping you. So this can hold you back in a lot of different places. I mean, we're just talking about a relationship, but it could be your job, could be your friendships, it could be your relationship to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you treat others.
Yes.
So I think this is an important topic, and I think you guys should consider, just ask yourself, who am I allowing to judge me?
Yes.
And does that serve me?
Yes.
Simple question.
And also, who you're allowing is, so they're clouding your brain. They're clouding your energy depending on what kind of feedback and comment they're giving it to you. So they're holding a space in your head, which when that happens, I don't think you can do anything else. It really stunts your growth as an individual. It could stop you progressing at work, because you could spend that good energy at work and improve yourself, where you're constantly thinking, oh, what so-and-so said that to me? Why she said that to me? Because that's what you're focusing on.
Oh, yeah.
Drama is the number one distraction at work for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. When you think about your life, there's just it's a chain link fence, and everything is sort of linked together in a circle, like in a bicycle chain. And every one of those links is connected. So if one, wherever the weakest link is, that's going to break, and it's going to cause harm to you. The whole point about this show is to try to help you. And if there's anything that we can do, please let us know. Until next time, thank you.
All right, thank you.